everyone, and welcome back to HaThanh's channel. The Kings Commemoration Day is approaching, a time when every Vietnamese heart turns towards its roots. Today, let us journey back in time and explore 5 profound and fascinating legends that have shaped the soul of our nation. These stories are not just fairy tales. They carry within them the wisdom, aspirations, and indomitable spirit of our ancestors. Are you ready? Let's begin. The first story is the legend of our origin, the story of the dragon fairy. In the early days of our country, known as Lac Viet, there was a deity named Lac Long Quan. He was the son of a dragon goddess, possessing extraordinary strength and power. Even before his marriage, he performed 3 legendary feats for the people. He defeated the ferocious water god, a monstrous fish that terrorized fishermen. He destroyed the 9-tailed fox, the creature that plagued the Long Viet region. He also subdued the 1,000-year-old tree spirit, finally bringing peace and security to the land. Meanwhile, high in the mountains lived the exquisitely beautiful Oco, a descendant of the god of agriculture. Because of her love for the Lac Viet land, she came to visit. It was then that she and Lac Long Quan met. They fell in love, married, and lived together in the magnificent Long Trang Palace. Not long after, Oco gave birth to a special cocoon containing 100 eggs. These eggs hatched into 100 healthy, handsome sons who grew up at an astonishing speed. But their different origins made it difficult for them to live together forever. Sadly, Lac Long Quan said to his wife, "I belong to the dragon lineage, and you belong to the immortal lineage. It is difficult for us to be together for long." Therefore, they made a heartbreaking decision. They divided their children. 50 sons would follow their father to the sea, and the remaining 50 sons would follow their mother to the mountains to establish a new life. Before parting, Lac Long Quan made a solemn vow: when danger strikes, we must warn each other and help each other. Never forget this promise. Their eldest son remained in his homeland, ascended the throne, took the title Hung Vuong, and named the country Van Lang. This beautiful story affirms the noble origins of the Vietnamese people and gives sacred meaning to the word compatriots. It reminds us that wherever we are all children of the same parents, brothers and sisters sharing the same roots. Second story, the legend of Bánh Giung and Bánh Giầy, the philosophy of round heaven, square earth. Please watch the story on YouTube using the keyword Story 1040 message, honoring the value of labor, gratitude for the rice that sustains humanity, and the moral principle of drinking water. Remember the source. Next, the third story, the legend of Sun Tin and Tin, the aspiration to conquer natural disasters. Please watch this story using the keyword Story 1039 message, symbolizing the indomitable will of our ancestors in the fight against natural disasters, protecting life and the fruits of their labor. Next is the story, the legend of the watermelon, a lesson in self-reliance. Mayan Team was a talented man, beloved by King Hung, who adopted him as his son. Thanks to his diligence, he lived a prosperous life, but often said, "A gift is a burden, a handout is a debt." This saying was distorted by evil people, enraging the king, who banished his family to a deserted island in the Nga Sun region. In the desolate wilderness, Mayan Team did not lose heart. One day, seeing a flock of birds carrying strange seeds from the west, he speculated, if birds can eat it, then humans can eat it too. He persevered in cultivating the seeds on the salty sand. Finally, he harvested a fruit with a green rind, red flesh, and a sweet taste. He carved his name on the fruit and released it into the sea. A merchant ship retrieved the precious watermelon, and news reached the king. Realizing his mistake and admiring his son's willpower, the king welcomed Mayan Team's family back to the palace. The message, our own hands create everything. The most enduring achievement is the one created through one's own sweat, tears, and intellect. And story number 5, the legend of Saint John, the power of patriotism. During the reign of the 6th Hun King, the Yin invaders attacked. In Zhang village, an old woman stepped into a giant footprint in the eggplant garden and, after 12 months, gave birth to Zhang. Zhang was 3 years old and still couldn't speak or laugh. When the messenger came to find a talented person to save the country, Zhang suddenly sat up and said, "Mother, invite the messenger in for me." Zhang requested the king to forge an iron horse, an iron staff, and iron armor. From that day on, Zhang grew incredibly fast, never getting full no matter how much he ate. When the invaders reached the foot of Trao Mountain, Zhang stretched himself into a mighty warrior, riding a fire-breathing iron horse. When his iron staff broke, Zhang uprooted clumps of bamboo from the roadside and scattered the invaders. Having wiped out the enemy, Zhang rode his horse to the summit of Mount Sok, removed his armor, and both he and his horse flew to heaven. Message: patriotism is an invincible source of strength. The nation's strength will transform ordinary people into legendary heroes. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next fascinating stories.